This is David with the Acme Kitchen Crate. Here I'm showing you the standard set. This is kind of my most basic of, everything that I think with having the highest quality that you need in a kitchen. Everything from your bakeware, cookware, prep tools, cooking, all the way down to your spices. So let me walk you through a little bit of what we got in here. So when it comes to like bakeware, we have kind of mix of items. So we've got your aluminum sheet pans in multiple sizes, including this nice extra large sheet, which is really great and fits into a standard oven, but it's larger than a standard half sheet. We have cooking grids, so that way you can use that for steaks and things like that when you don't want it to sit in the juices and stuff when you're cooking, or if you're using it to rest for cookies. All the non-stick bakeware for pies, cakes, brownies, all different kinds of things that you do, as well as we've got the porcelain bakeware. So this is really nice for, your lasagnas, as well as other kind of casseroles, things like that. Fantastic pieces from Made in here, Made in France. All of this is USA Pan and Nordic Ware, which is all made in the US. When it comes to prep tools, we've got mixing bowls from Rollrath as well as glass from Pyrex. So you've got two different materials depending on what you're doing. We've got the glass bowls come with lids, so you can use them as storage in the fridge as well. For knives, we've got amazing selection. We're using Steelport as the primary chef's knife. This is a gorgeous carbon steel knife, ridiculously sharp, fantastic blade. It's carbon steel, so you're going to have a little bit of maintenance with it. It'll kind of patina over time, but really not a hard knife to maintain, and just a fantastic edge. And then we've also got some stainless pieces from Miyabi, the Birchwood series. I'm using their utility knife, which is kind of like a large utility blade, almost a small petty knife, as well as their nigiri. We've got some large slicing knives from Dexter, made here in the U.S., as well as you got to have some scissors. So we got a set of scissors here from Shun, which is fantastic. When it comes to your salt, oil, vinegar, all that kind of stuff, we've got these great jars for no drip that gives you a great pour spout, as well if you're making vinaigrettes and different things. You've got your shaker bottle that you can use to store it in the fridge. Salt keepers for your fancy salt as well as your standard salt. And then you've got a fantastic pepper grinder made out of billet aluminum. Fantastic. Feels really nice in the hand and cranks a ton of pepper without a lot of force. Getting into the rest of your kind of cooking tools and accessories. So you got a smattering of everything from your pastry brushes, whisks in multiple materials, including non-stick as well as a stainless steel. We've got the OXO tongs. I have both non-stick and standard, depending on if you're doing high heat. This is a great one for the grill. This is for everyday use on the stove. But it's got a great mechanism, really simple, easy to use, good quality tool. Really happy with these from OXO. Spatulas from Matfer as well as OXO. Really nice pieces from, this is Jonathan Spoons, made here in the U.S. out of cherry wood. This is their spoodle, as well as I've got their regular spoon. Really nice, versatile pieces. You're making chili or browning meats, things like that, sauces. It's kind of that good grandma spoon when you want to use it for breaking things up, as well as being able to scoop and serve. And having the nice little helper handle makes it to where it'll sit on the side of a cookware and it'll drip into the cookware, not onto your counter and everything else. Tavolo set of silicone spatulas and spoons. Really nice metal handle with a silicone head. Has a great feel in the hand while still having a really premium look and having that silicone head for getting into bowls and being able to scrape everything out. Rozzle, I'm using them for ladle as well as a spider skimmer. These are, go to use all the time. Amazing quality pieces. Using them as well for their strainers. I've got their little mini guy tea strainer, which is also great for pulling bits of stuff out of oil and stuff if you're draining out, making like guanciale if you're browning stuff. Really nice to have, as well as their larger strainer, along with the RSVP strainers for your kind of pasta, just general purpose. So kind of good mix depending on what you're doing. If you're frying, if you're making pasta, you got different options. This is also going to be used in baking if you're doing powdered sugar or cocoa, things like that, you can kind of just tap it and get a nice little layer. So nice little versatile piece there. Getting into cookware, we've got a lot of different options here in multiple materials. So when we talk about the skillets, I've got stainless steel from Heston as well as DeMeyer. I've got non-stick from Made In. I've got my carbon steel from Smithy as well as cast iron from Smithy. So you really have a good mix of everything that you're going to need in different materials. So if you're going to be doing, eggs in the morning, you've got your non-stick. For everyday cooking as well as being able to be used as a non-stick, you've got your carbon steel in 2 different sizes. And then your stainless steel skillets, really great pieces. I've got the Heston ones, which I use as my typical stainless steel skillet, really nimble and easy. And then I'm also including the DeMeyer stainless, which I use more as a cast iron. It's a really thick, heavy pan. If you're trying to get a solid sear, that's a fantastic pan that you can then, make a glaze or reduce into a sauce afterwards. Really nice piece, but it's heavy. So I still like having the Heston stainless for lightweight cooking and more nimble stuff. So that's my kind of all the general skillets. And then I also have my enameled here with the everyday pan from Le Creuset. Really good for one pot dishes and stuff. Having that high sides and the easy kind of handle for serving right to, cookware to table is really nice. Moving into the enameled cast iron from Le Creuset, we have their 7¼ quart Dutch oven as well as their 5-quart brazier. Really nice pieces for baking, deep frying. If you're cooking large pieces of meat, you can sear it off in here, cover it with a nice tight lid, put it in the oven for a long time. Really nice heat retention, gorgeous looking pieces to put on the tabletop. It really goes with the rest of the enameled cast iron from Le Creuset, all made in France, which is great. Multiple colors available that you can pick in the selector on the website. Getting into kind of some of the rest of the stainless steel, we've got multiple sauce pots and sauciers, as well as a rondeau and stock pot. For the stock pot, I'm going to a 12 quart. I really like having the extra volume for making stock. Thanksgiving, you have that turkey, putting everything in the pot. It's really nice to have that extra size. And the rondeau, this is a really good saute. So this is used a lot, similar as a larger size of what I use the everyday pan for. But if I'm making stuffing or things where I've got a large amount of stuff that's going into a pot, this is really, really nice. And the 4-quart saucepan really almost gets used as my small stock pot. So if I'm doing small amounts of pasta, if I don't want to grab this, the 4-quart is generous enough that you could do a lot of 2-person pasta in that before needing to grab the larger stock pot. So you have versatility in the sizes of how you use the individual pieces. And then continuing with Heston, I've got their roasting pan. Again, one of these things you're going to use, a few times a year, but it's a great large pan for roasting. This one is a fully clad induction ready, which is really unique. So that way, if you want to do cooking a large roast or turkey in the oven and then deglaze and reduce the sauce, you can do that no matter what cooktop surface you have, which is really unique on that piece. Measuring tools, you've got to be accurate when you're in the kitchen. And so I've got a electric scale from OXO as well as measuring from ThermoWorks and infrared and a probe thermometer, as well as I've got a tape measure included in the kit. So if you're doing baking, you're able to measure things out. When you're after you're cooking things, you also need to be able to mark stuff. So I've got, blue tape and a marker so that way you can write things down when you need to put your dates down or put stuff in the freezer, you know what it is. And then other just kind of general accessories, all your measuring tools, really nice OXO measuring cups that have the siliconized handle, so it's a really nice comfortable grip with easy to read writing on it. All clad measuring cups and spoons. In fact, I've actually used this as a mini sauce pot. If I just needed to melt a little piece of butter or something, you can just take that and just throw it right on the cooktop and it'll work just fine. Easy to level off with the handle to here, but just super durable. You're not going to bend these like you can almost every other measuring cup on the market. Potato masher from All Clad, the best one I've used, hands down. Can do potatoes for a huge crowd. Got pot holders. Spices are a huge thing. So making, you can have the best cookware in the world, but if you don't have the best product to go with it, you're not going to get a good end result. So having the spices this is Burlap and Barrel, which is all single origin spices. They actually give you tasting notes per bottle to tell you what it's from, what farm it comes from, things like that. Amazing products, some of the best spices I've ever used. and really love having them, so I wanted to support them and include them in the kit. So I have a good, nice essential set, so that way you have something to get going with, and then you can always expand and add from there. Gotta have barware, and so including in this, I've got my Barfly Boston shaker, really nice shaker set that you can use as a 2-piece here, or you can also add it with a pint glass, depending on what it is you're making. It's got a great lattice finish. It's got a nice grip to it, and then you've got the matching spoon and jigger along with it. And then I've got a fantastic barkeeper's friend for wine and things. Fantastic piece that's made in Spain from Pull Tap. Really quick, easy to use, high quality bar tap. Really nice piece to have. And then other kind of essentials, garlic press, pizza cutter, steamer basket. This is really nice because it just expands, and you just pop it right into any of either your pot or your 4-quart sauce. Will fit in either. Universal lids. I'm a big fan of not having a whole bunch of lids in a house, so I really like having my universals where all I really need is this for all my skillets, and this hits most all my sauce pots. And this will do the stock pot as well. So between the two, that hits every single thing I need. I don't need to have a whole drawer full of lids, so I really like having my universal lids in the kitchen. And they're really simple too for a dishwasher, since they're a lot thinner and don't have the handles. They slip in really nicely. Le Creuset, we got the little mini coquettes, which is nice for desserts and single serve appetizers. I have a cookbook that comes with the set, so you can actually see what kinds of things to make in it. One other item in the standard kit is our kitchen torch. This is a piece that honestly I use a lot. I've used the little tiny torches before, and it's just, I don't know, what's the point? You can get this for the same price. This is a fantastic professional tool. Use it with a full-size propane canister, and you can dial it down, so you can do fairly fine stuff with it. But if you're doing any kind of sous vide, or if you're searing something off and you just want to finish off the outside edge, or if you're doing brulee, it has just a million different uses. And it's a really nice one-touch click and light, so it's a really simple, easy to use. And since it uses those full-size propane canisters, it's really cheap and easy to get new fuel for it. You don't have to mess with butane and charging and stuff. So a really nice piece to add to the set. I have some videos that go over in a little bit more detail some of the accessories. To grow upon this, I have the ultimate set, which is all the same pieces, but adding additional pieces. So I have more one-off, more unique pieces for the people who like to cook, who's a little bit more of a chefy than the ultimate set. Check out the video on what you get in the ultimate set, and that would be kind of the upgrade from here. But otherwise, this is the kind of amazing standard one kit. Buy it and you're gonna love every single piece in this kit, I guarantee it. And for other videos, you can check them out right here.